that we've done over the last 5 years. And what we try to do is in our winter meetings, we study ourselves a lot, and we study other people a lot, and we actually try to resource as much NFL stuff as we can. That we've done over the last 5 years. And what we try to do is in our winter meetings, we study ourselves a lot, and we study other people a lot, and we actually try to resource as much NFL stuff as we can to learn. And we took on a project 5 years ago about learning more about the critical downs in football. And obviously the obvious downs are, for us, obvious downs are third down. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Some people call them nickel downs, we just refer to them as obvious downs. We break down our obvious downs or third downs like this. Third down and short is third down and 1 to 2. Okay. Third down and medium is third down and 3 to 6. Third down and long is 7 to 10. And then third down and extra long is 11 plus. And we develop our game plan based off of those and scout our opponents based off of those. The 75 to 80%, 45 to 50, etc. refers to what we've done over the last 5 years studying ourselves and studying different people we've looked at. We've tried to look at as much NCAA stats as we can. On third down and short, the likelihood of converting that down is somewhere between 75 and 80%. That's what that number refers to. On third down and medium, it's 45 to 50% likelihood. On third down and long, it's 20 to 25%. And third down and 11 plus, 10 to 15. And it's scary how consistent those have been over the years. And here's the moral of the story. It's kind of a, no shit statement, excuse my terminology. You got to win the battle on normal downs. So our philosophy, and we really, in our team goals, every week we have a goal to win normal downs. And normal downs on first and second down, we want to have at least got 4 yards or more on those 2 downs. So we need to keep ourselves in that 50% range so that we're somewhere in that third down to 6 or less range on third down. We have at least a 50% chance of converting that down to distance. Here's some of the things. The second part of our philosophy is know your opponent. And the obvious things you want to know about your opponent, and I think this first one for us has been critical, is you want to know his personnel philosophy. I think the people at Oklahoma do a great job. Okay, they do an outstanding job. One of the best things they do is they have a third down package, a 3-down package that I have not seen anything like it in football. We played them a lot. We played them in the regular season a year ago. We played them in the championship game, the Big 12 championship game a year ago, and obviously played them this year in a tight game. And one of the things I use them as an example because I know that when I send into the game personnel, I send in 4 receivers or 3 receivers, it's 100% I'm going to get that 3-down defense. So what we did this past year is we stayed out of that look and used pro personnel. We used 2 tight ends because we're blessed with some really good tight ends to help us be more efficient at keeping that 3-down look off the field. So that's why I refer to that, okay? Using them as an example, know the personnel philosophy. When are they going to send in? If there's something you don't want to see, and I don't want to see the package since I got to. The only time that we did it this past year, we actually we invited it to get some things done that we did in a particular part of our offense, but we really tried to keep them out of it by us using our personnel. The second thing, the front structures or front tendencies. The pressure philosophy, and obviously this is huge, the blitz down. The first thing that we look for, I have assigned our offensive line coach is our Zen master, and his job is to find the down and distance and the pressure philosophy of our opponent. And we tie everything we do in protection to that break line. So the pressure philosophy and the blitz down is critical. Coverage tendencies obviously go along with that, and there's going to match up both the front and to the blitz. But in terms of what they do, you got to know it inside and out. And I still, I really think, the more and more specialized our game has become, the personnel philosophy is where you can gain an advantage, okay, and help yourself offensively. The second part of our philosophy is to build a comprehensive plan that's balanced by the down and distance situations. And here's what I mean by that. The first thing we want to do is change up our protections. We never, in this offense, the West Coast offense, as I know it, as I've studied it and researched it with as many people that will share with me as I can find, the key thing is being able to change up your protections, as well as the quarterback's launch points, we'll talk about here in a little bit. But the protection change-up's huge. We're going to be in a scat protection, which for us is we're going to be in a 5-man protection, blocking the 5 most dangerous. We're going to be in a 6-man slide, and we're also going to be in some, which our 6-man slide is what I'm referring to there as hot protections. And then we're going to get to what we call 6-jet, which is a 7-man or 8-man protection. And the way we have it structured right now is primarily become a 7-man protection, slide protection for us. The next thing is, always keep changing the quarterback's launch point up. For example, what we try to do is we try to build a way to, get on the edge, sprint. One of the things in the West Coast offense, there's a play called sprint right option. Well, we've taken that and we've expanded upon that just to change up the quarterback's launch point, giving him a chance to get outside the pocket, make some plays with his feet as well as with the football throwing. So we do want to change up the launch point, especially on 3rd down and what would be 3rd down and 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll run the whole game. We'll run our normal down package right there and actually do some naked stuff with that also. And then, as we talked about it a little bit earlier, in the first part of the presentation, I was using the screen game. The screen game's huge. Like I referred to before, the screen game allows you to spring big play on the defense. The big play comes because it takes a lot of pressure off your offensive line and it takes pressure off the quarterback. And it is just a deuce in the attack. Probably the 2 biggest plays in our championship game in 2001 were both on screens, based off one off the drive route we just saw, and the other one off of 372 wide, or off a stick, which is a base 3-step pass that we do a lot in that game. So they can bail you out, man. And what we do, again, to keep emphasizing this, whatever we're doing in the base plan, in this case the nickel plan, by look, that screen's going to come off the same look. So we may run it, and we'll get right back to the screen game and invite it. One of the other things that we've done is we've used some perimeter screens. We've got a nifty kid, a kid that's actually got a chance to be a gold medalist. Hopefully he'll have a chance to come back if NCAA sees a way through it. But he's a great guy to run perimeter screens to, fast little things on the perimeter, inside middle screen. We'll just put the ball out to him on 3rd down, and anywhere between really 3 to 6, we'll let him have the football. So there's other ways to use a screen too, besides the traditional drop back screen game. And then we use our draw game. Okay, we're big on draws. We're a 1-back draw team, 2-back draw team. We run a split divide draw that looks just like our 22 or 24 protection, which we call H3 bend. So we tie those same draw looks into the same pass looks. And here this part of it, I think, is just critical. And this, to communicate the plan. And this is what I learned about the West Coast offense. And again, I've had a lot of people who want to talk about plays, but the one thing that Coach Brown and Coach Eubanks emphasized to me was, it's not so much plays as it is your ability to teach those plays. The key thing for us and the success that we've had is being able to communicate the plan. We discuss each situation, not just with the quarterback, but with the entire unit. And we tell them exactly what we're expecting from the defense that we're facing, and how we plan to attack it. And that usually is done by myself in an overview, okay? And so this is what we expect it to be a nickel team. The nickel front, they like to bring zone pressure from the balance loop, from the field, and from the boundary. Here's how we plan to attack that. And what that does, and what it's done for us, is when it's happening to them, when they see it on film, it's giving us credence with our kids. In other words, they trust us. They know that we have a plan. We're working for them. And then they really buy into it at the same time. Obviously, the quarterback has got to know each situation, what's expected of him. And I'm going to talk to you about that when we start defining these plays here. Again, the philosophy, keep it simple and sound. We don't want to have a bunch of stuff. You can't practice a bunch of stuff. We actually practice our nickel downs on 2 days. And we do 1 and 7-on-7 the first day as it's introduced to get it up and running. And the second day, we do it in 11-on-11 versus coverage. And then we also do it in a blitz pickup versus pressure. So we're always working on answers. But when you do that, we've got 4 hours with them. In the NFL, they've got 8 hours, okay? So we have to really cut down what we do. We don't try to do everything. We try to do what we can do. It's the best way to describe it. So we keep it simple, we keep it sound, and we keep it tight. And then we go out, as I just said, we practice the plan. And we put a lot of time into this down and this is because this could be, obviously, the difference in the ball game, okay? So we put a lot of time into it. As I said, we practice it 7-on-7 the first day that we install it. Then we come back the next day, and our team period is really designated to the nickel situation or the obvious downs. As we go through each one, we'll do it in 11-on-11 versus coverage or zone pressure, and then we'll get into the high pressures or even and mix that with some zone pressure because we're seeing more zone pressure today than what we are man pressures actually in our league and the people we play. So that's how we begin, and that's how we start off with it. Next thing I wanted to do here with you is break this down a little bit about each down and distance in terms of velocity. On third down and long or extra long, these are the things philosophically that we try to do. Number one, we try to use concepts downfield to convert to distance. Okay? So the throw is actually going to convert the distance first. The second thing, we try to use routes to take advantage of matchups, which is kind of a no-shit statement. We use double moves. That's the type of routes we're talking about, or angle routes, where our offensive guy gains an advantage or gains leverage on the defender that he's facing or the coverage that we're facing. The next thing is emphasize using our check down system, okay? Which we do not want our quarterback to sit in because it's third down and 12. If they have coverage that's covering it up, we want him to check it down again, going back to timing, check it down on his feet, get the ball out, so that the back, if he's the check down in this particular case, has an opportunity to run for the sticks. The final part of it, this is an element of each one of them, is to coordinate the concept, the route concepts that I'm talking about with the protection concept. And that's going to show up on each of the next two. And what I'm referring to there, guys, is this. If we are going to truly throw the ball down, we want to throw the ball down the field, we want to make sure our protections match up with that throw, okay? In this particular situation, I'm going to introduce to you a concept, and I'm not talking about protections because those are like top secret stuff. And I'll be more than happy to do that on an individual basis, or if you guys want to come visit, we'll give you all we got. But it's, in our offense, this concept is called 6-jet, which is a 7-man protection. We can actually run out of a one-back look, and we're able to get the ball thrown down the field. It was a godsend for us this year, especially with all the zone pressures that we're seeing. But that particular protection concept matches up with the route concept to allow us to accomplish that objective, okay? And if we're going to third down and medium, third down and 6, or 3 to 6, one thing before I go there, on these third down and longs, I'm talking about 7+ now, put long and extra long together. We plan 5 plays in our game plan, okay? We plan 5 plays, okay? The average on the national average, and this is spooky. We've done it over 5 years, and there's a book that Brian Billick wrote called Coordinating an Offense, and there's a lot of stats in there. If you haven't got that book, you should get it. I've got one for everybody on our offensive staff. We started adhering to it, collecting this empirical data to make us more efficient as coaches. I'm going to tell you, it's an awesome book. He has a breakdown in there by down and distance, how many are called like in an NFL season and also on a college season. Well, we started doing this 5 years ago, and I'm telling you what, it is scary. I see you smiling. You've seen the book? It's scary, man. It's like you can bet money on this thing, man. The net average is 4. And it's been that way for 5 years. I mean, it's scary how it turns out in a game. Now, one game it might be, 3, another game it might be 6, but on an average, it comes out 4. It's spooky the way it works. So we're trying to be efficient with our practice time. Okay, so we plan 5. We're playing 5 plays. Next thing is third down and medium, 3 to 6. And now this is a key conversion because now we're in that 50% range. So this is where we got to really be good. we plan 4 plays. The average is 3 a game. Okay, so we plan 4, the average is 3. We feel like that gives us a chance to, be efficient at teaching and also efficient at working it and getting good at it. We use, the first thing we're going to use draws, which we spoke of earlier. We use some trap plays, against, certain front structures. And we also use some special runs off of the formation looks that we're going to run or pass the ball out. And the whole purpose on this down and distance, and I feel like this has been very helpful to me as a coordinator and play caller, is to create a run threat. You just don't, if you on this down and distance can create a run threat and can become two-dimensional, or have a threat of being two-dimensional, you get a lot more honest defense. Okay? You don't have people thinking about what they're going to call. The next thing we do as far as philosophy, we're going to use a 3-step and 5-step passing concepts. And the reason for that, guys, is to go and get the ball out fast. Okay? Because this, by and large, if you go through the season, the opponents we play, this is their blitz down. Okay? The next part of this is we're going to use personnel and formations to create one-on-one matches. That's kind of, again, that's a statement that probably goes without saying. But again, this is an opportunity like 2 years ago. On this down and distance, we're thinking players, not plays necessarily. We're thinking getting our players' hands on the ball who can make a difference and convert the down and distance for us. So in 2001, my thoughts were on Van Graham, and the secondary receiver would have been Derek McCoy. This past year, it was either Derek McCoy or DJ Hackett. I didn't care which one, but the other guy was going to be the check down or our tight end, Joe Cockenstein, because those guys are talented people. We'll put our backs in there and the check downs always to give us a chance when we are throwing the football, that ball is going out to our playmakers, the guy that can convert it down and then make a big explosion play for us. And again, we coordinate the route concepts with protection. You're going to, again, see that show up every time. Let's go to 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, we're talking about 3rd down and 1 to 2. We plan 3 plays, and net average is 2. Okay, the net average is 2. One thing about this down and distance that I really like is, and I'll tell you what, I'll save it for the last because it's up there last. We use 3-step and quick 5-step passing concepts, once again, to get the ball out fast. We use run-action pass and movement pass. We use, hear me use the term movement pass, that's, we're out breaking contain, okay? And that's obviously off of our runs that we're going to use, the runs that are in this down and distance category, off that same formation look. We're going to have something where we, a pass play off the same stuff. Again, we'll use personnel formations to create matches. And then the key thing, and I love this about this down and distance, and the guy I work for, he's great. He manages the game, and he'll call up to me and say, okay, watch, you're in 4-down territory. Okay? When we're in 4-down territory, we're always going to have the ability to take a shot. In every game plan, we try to come up on this down and distance as well as, we always take in really 3 shots. And on this particular down and distance, we'll take in 2 shots. I mean, off of a heavy play action. I've got one that we had a great success with, and I'll show you a couple clips of it. But that's how we attack this situation. Now, let me give you, is there any questions before going further? Everybody good? Okay. Let me go to the concept that I love this thing. This is, the play I'm going to introduce to you is called 6-jet X-glance. And I'm going to give you the quarterback's coaching points, and I'll show it to you, and I'll show it to you on the film. 6-jet X-glance is this. It's a full field read for our quarterback, which means, again, our quarterback, predicated on coverage, is going to play to the front side or to the back side, predicated on what the coverage is. In other words, I'm telling you, you can't be wrong as a quarterback because the route concept is always got an answer no matter what coverage it is. It's a full field read. When you hear that term in our offense, quarterback, you're right. Because if you are in doubt, or the defenses try to create doubt with the disguise look, you have a foundation that's solid, man. It's always there for you. The clock is 5 and firm and 5 and close. I'll explain that when I show you the route work. The movement key on this front side is going to be the play side corner. We're reading the play side, front side corner technique. On the back side, depending on if it's an open or closed look, it's the coverage look. For us, open is cover 2. It's a half look back into the boundary, and closed is a middle close, cover 3 or cover 1 look. Cover 3 as we know it, cover 1 for us, probably the same way with most of you guys, is just man free. Okay? So predicated on the look, quarterback's going to have a rule. His progression is going to be a glance or a tag. We'll have some double tags on this, and then if that's the primary side, the front side, and the back side then becomes what we call a drive route to the wheel route. And protection-wise, it's a 6-jet protection. It's diamond. It's a 7-man protection out of a 1-back look. And we've tweaked it to some 8-man protections out of a couple of our heavier personnel groups. Now, let me show you a diagram of this play. I'm going to actually, we run this out of a 3x1, okay? A 3x1. This is called, as we call it, Trey Wright 6-jet X glance. The front side receiver now is going to be the X, okay? And basically, here's what the quarterback does. If the quarterback comes up and he sees a middle safety look, he's going to throw the glance route, okay? And the glance route for us is a 5-step post. It's not a 7-step post, it's a 5-step post. So it's an extended slant, that's all it is. If he's taking that look, we're throwing it on 5 and firm. So the middle's closed, you got a cushion corner or even a jam or bump corner, we don't care. We're going to throw this backside slant. Now the key is what the quarterback does with his eyes. The quarterback, when he knows he's got a middle closed look, he's got to look the defender, the free safety off to the 2 receiver side, and he's going to take the backside glance route. Okay? The beautiful part about this is, now when it goes to a, whatever the, set off there real quick, now we get a cover 2 look, the quarterback's got answers. The answers are going to be over here to the 2 receiver side. And this has got a little run and shoot to it because we're going to actually convert these routes out. This route here, we call a drive route, which number 1 runs. And we call it a drive route because this is a drive release. He's going to drive inside for 3 hard steps, burst vertical. If the middle is open, he's going to run a post. If the middle is closed, he's turning it into a dig. The inside receiver is going to run the wheel route. Okay? He's going to, and actually, that drive release is first, and the zebra, number 2 here, comes off of his ass. So when he drive releases, he comes off his ass. If it's open on top of him, if it's again cover 2, cover 3 look, if it's open, he'll run a go route. If it's closed, cover 3, cover 1, or even in cover 1 we could end up taking it. But if it's cover 3, he'll turn it into a dig. Now, a beautiful thing for the quarterback, going back to a full field read principle, if the middle's open or he's in doubt of what he's getting, let me put it like this. If he's in doubt of what's happening with the back end, he simply comes over there and plays the 2 receiver side. He should always be right. We've got great protection on. We can dial it. We don't care what happens. It allows the quarterback to sit there and make a shot. A couple things that we've done off of this. Let me buzz down here to this bottom one. We get in a 2x2 and we move to a 3x1. Now, I've got this all shown out of a 1-back look. This is wing right, zebra right, 6-jet X glance. And we just move our zebra over to number 2's alignment, which it would have been in our tray formation, and we do the same thing. So you can add variations to it, obviously. One of the things we've done off of this, which has been really good, is to run a 6-jet X stutter, which is now we're getting some double move routes. We run the stutter off of the curl move, and we can also run what we call a glance and go, which is off of the glance move. Okay? So this backside receiver, or what becomes a front side receiver, the X, the tag, we can tag him glance and go, or we can tag him stutter to give us the ability to take the heart out of the defense. So we get a nosy corner, we'll go after him right away. Okay? So that's one aspect of it. And that's how we go from the X glance call. It really comes out of a 3x1 look. Let me show you this next one here, which is goes to the Z. And this one's going to be 6-jet. Again, protection, 7-man slide protection. We were able to block 7 guys, and we're able to direct our protection where we can pick up the most dangerous and never get hit in the back of the head. Z out or Z curl. And again, let me just throw this in now while I'm on it. We can go Z stutter. We can double move him off of the curl move, which would be a stutter, and off the out move in our offense would be an out and up, which we call Okie. Okay? But it's a full field read. Again, quarterback's clock, it should be 5. It's always 5 and close on the Z concepts. The movement key, again, is the front side corner. Based on what is happening here with the open or close look to the back side, and the progression is the out. which is the front side tag, to the drive to the wheel on the back side. And that, again, is his foundation. If he's in doubt, simply play the foundation. Protection-wise, quarterback, you can dive it. Works no matter what. Now, let me show you a couple of variations here.
Hey, Coach, on that last play that you showed us, if he's throwing that skinny post, he's the quarterback's on a 5-step. If he goes to the other side, is it a 7-step?
5 and close.
Still 5
and close, yeah. You know, that's a good question. You know, we try to stay off the 7-step stuff. You know, we've been a big quick and 7 team, you know, 1 and 6. And it's, you know, we've really gotten away from that because we get so many wide 5s. We're trying to stay inside the pocket. You know, we're trying to keep everything on 5, you know, a 5 and close clock now. We're off the 7s because the 7 just is hanging those tackles out. We've got too many good athletes in our league off those edges. Give you a couple variations here. This is look out a wing, okay? This one here is wing right, 6-jet Z out. On the Z out call, if he's got free access, he runs the out. If he gets bumped up on, he turns it into a go route, okay? And you'll see I've got a couple tags on that also. The backside stays the same. The X is running the drive. He drive releases now. If the middle is open, he runs a post, cover 2. If the middle is closed, cover 3 or cover 1, he turns it into a basic. The zebra is the second releaser. He comes off his ass. If the top end, the third is open, he takes it on the go. If it's closed with a corner technique on top, he turns it into a dig route. Same thing, this is going from tray right, a 3x1, back to a 2x2. We're doing the same thing with the Z out call. At the bottom, we also can tag them with the base tags are curling out. This is just giving you an example of both the same formation variations with the wing Z curl call and the tray zebra 3x1 to 2x2 Z curl call. What happens again, same thing we just talked about. That middle, if the middle is closed, the quarterback can throw the curl, he can throw the out all day. If we're throwing the out, we're on 5 and firm. If he's throwing the curl, we're on 5 and close. If he's, you know, if he's got a 2-on-1 on that side, similar to spacing, in doubt at all, he just comes back here and plays the backside tag, backside wheel route. And this has been a really, really good thing for us this past year. We added it to the offense. I had done it with Mike at Illinois, and we kind of got away from it. We brought a guy in from the University of Pittsburgh, Sean Sims, our running back coach, and Walt was actually the coordinator at Illinois when I was there, and they've been running a lot of the pit. He brought it back, and it's been a big answer for us on zone pressure teams. And it just, because it's 3 deep, 3 underneath, you got it. It's ugly what happens on this back side, and ugly what happens on the glance. Let me show you one other variation, and I'll pop on the film and show you running this stuff. This variation is going to be just another variation that we've added to it with 6-jet corner. Okay, again, it's the same protection, it's a full field read. We're going on 5 and close. Same coaching points, the movement keys, the front side, play side corner. We're going always on the Z curl call. We're always on the corner call. We're always running out with the Z. If it gets rolled up on, it'll turn to a fade. I'll show you that here in a second. But the backside now, we're going to run a corner concept. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Based on coverage, Luke tells the quarterback what to do. His progression is the out to the corner to what we call a fade hitch. Protection-wise, we're dialing. Now, all that's jargon until you see the picture, so let me fill up the picture and show you what I'm talking about. This is out of a wing look. This is wing right 6-jet corner. The Z's running the out. The quarterback has a free access corner on top. He'll throw the out all day long. Just take it, okay? If we get rolled up on, it becomes cover 2. Then he'll come back and play this backside tag. As you can see, this is a pretty good concept against the backside. And then we go 1 to the corner, 2 to the fade hitch. The other thing that's awesome about this particular play, if we're getting kind of rolled up cover 1, bump coverage, it's cover 1, middle close, or cover 0 close, and they're bumped on this guy, we can alert them to go route. Okay? 6-jet protection takes care of all the issues inside. We're good to go. This bottom picture here is a tray right, zebra left, and it shows us just going from a 3x1 to a 2x2 and doing the same thing. Okay, any questions on that before we throw on the tape? Let me throw on this tape here and show you this stuff here real quick. I've got a couple clips on it. And I think I put a video guy put on 2 or 3 of each one of these being run. We like this as again, a third long call, because no matter if it's zone pressure, if it's man, it doesn't matter. It's been good to us. Okay, this first one's going to be 6-jet X glance. You see the 8-jet in there. We'll really change it all to 6-jet now. Okay, now as the quarterback comes up, here's where he's got a middle close look. All right. So now the glance is going to go on. Love this against zone pressure teams. This is going to be a big play right now before it starts. Against a zone pressure team, we're going to get some sort of zone pressure coming from the field here. Okay. A middle close look. The quarterback's going to take his eyes, and he should work the defender away. And then he should open up the glance hole back here even bigger. Because his backside back on his zone pressure look, he's got to push to the middle hook area. These two cats are coming. We love it against zone pressure. His backside is dropping out of no man's land. To show it to you here, it should be taking the backside glance if I remember this right. Let's see how it looks.
Take one of your paws, you got
Okay, stop and play? Okay. So in other words, no pause, right? Here it is right here. We're going to look the safety off to the field and throw the glance right behind it. And you see, you know, the back side, I'm referring to the X at the top as front side as a quarterback would know it. The backside being the two receiver side, their routes don't totally get developed, but as we've gone through this thing, there's always somebody open. And we're throwing the slant right off the lead. You see the linebacker pushing to the middle hook.
Coach, what's your yardage on that backside slant?
On the X,
Yes.
it's a 5-step, we do it off the steps, it's a 5-step big slant is what we call it. That's why we call it glance. All right, that's a picture of it there against middle close look. All right, we're going to go here from a 2x2 to a 3x1. Do the same thing. We're going to rotate down for us. I'm going to throw the glance off the backside again. You know, what's really cool about playing tape.